You know, Senator Lakshmi Dayal, like many senators, expressed, of course, her concern with crime, the spiraling, and the high levels, the alarming levels of crime in Trinidad and Tobago. But what Senator Lakshmi Dayal went on to speak about was that she suggested and expressly stated that this government has been very lazy in dealing with crime. And more so, she highlighted in her presentation that the government has failed in dealing and treating with the issue of crime. Mr. President, for the benefit of the listening and viewing public, contrary to what the other side attempts to promote, whereby they constantly, their rhetoric is that this is an uncaring government and we do not care about crime. Mr. President, a few minutes ago, you recognized a group of school children that entered into this honorable house. One of the young ladies that is sitting in that chamber, Mr. President, is a 16-year-old young lady who happens to be my daughter. And contrary to what, and she's looking on at me right now, and contrary to what the other side tries to promote, I am a mother too. And I have a daughter too. And I have children too. Your child probably 4 years, mine is 16, so she understands what's happening. In the senator's deliberation about when the senator made the point about this government being lazy, of course she raised the issue of bail. But I will call the senator a spin doctor because what the senator did in her deliberation, Mr. President, was that she attempted to justify why they did not support the bail amendment bill. And she spoke about the bail amendment, that we lazy, the government is lazy, and we blame bail, and we blame the government lack of support, and the opposition lack of support for bail as a fundamental cause of crime and criminality in this country. And so she went on to speak, the Honorable Senator spoke about that and accused again the government of being lazy by its reliance on bail. There is just a narrative and a conversation that I want to have with the people respectfully, Mr. President of Trinidad and Tobago, who is no doubt paying attention to this sitting of the Senate. Mr. President, you know why this government will often speak about the need to have opposition support for certain bills when it relates to dealing with crime? Because oftentimes, Mr. President, what we require to deal with crime is what we may term as draconian pieces of legislation. Legislation that locks down the rights of citizens and the rights of the accused even. So, for example, a legislation about searching without warrant. So you have information that there is ammunition in a place. And without a warrant, you have the ability, police have the ability to go in and search without a warrant. I'm not advocating these pieces of legislation, mind you, but what I want to suggest and remind the people of Trinidad and Tobago, when we speak about the need to have opposition support in the fight of crime legislatively, it is because, Mr. President, most respectfully, there are certain pieces of legislation that if we really want to put a handle on crime, will require us as a government adopting draconian measures which will very well be trampling on the rights of an accused. And that's why I just use as a simple example, a hypothetical situation, searching without a warrant. For example, I heard in the public domain, how come the government not allowing us to lock down communities, go and lock down communities when it have crime and criminal activity in certain communities? Mr. President, to lock down a community is trampling on the rights of a citizen, their freedom to move. That same right, that right to life and that liberty the Honorable Senator spoke about. Governments, if we let's say we decide that is the solution to crime. Pass a piece of legislation to lock down communities. My question is to the Honorable Senator Lakshmi Dayal, will you all support it? And I will answer myself, and the answer will be no, because they will not support. They will never support, because that is what the opposition is known for doing, talking from two sides of their mouth.